Hello, welcome to the Nuclear Reactor, and today we'll be reacting to episode 8 of What If Cell Turned Good. I hope you're liking these reactions. I'm enjoying them, and to be honest, from lately, I've only enjoyed watching anime and less two things. One, I'm reacting to it, or two, I'm watching someone reacting to it. Otherwise, for some reason, I don't enjoy it, and I don't know why that is, but I mean, I enjoy it, but not as much as I do watching, either reacting to it for y'all or watching someone else react to something. So, I hope y'all are enjoying these, though. And I hope to, in the next month or so, to start reeling out the actual anime episodes. I'll have to figure out if I can even get away with putting them on YouTube or if I should just put them on a Patreon. Y'all let me know, and I hope y'all are enjoying this. Let's get this
But
going.
Masako, what could possibly replace Monarca's best assets? Don't deny us such marvels!
His best assets. Don't bring those two into it. Sorry, I had to.
Hey guys, MasakoX here. It's time to get back in touch with one of the goodest boys in the entire What If universe of ours. And no, I'm not talking about Raditz, nor am I talking about good boy Broly, even though he's been slipping as of late.
Wait,
no,
what?
I am talking about the likes
Holy
of
shit. Damn it, I forgot there was a What If Broly. I have to... I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about these What Ifs, because I want to keep these coming out, but there's so many of these to do, but I also want to react to anime. I'll have to figure it out. Y'all help me out and figure out what y'all want me to do. Because if I keep doing so many what ifs, then I only have time for, at max, like I'm doing this week, at 10 videos or something. That's the absolute max. And if I'm splitting them up, then the editing them and everything to cut them down, if I'm doing the anime reactions, that would massively take more time, and I'd cut that number down by half, so I don't know, I'll figure it out.
former villain slash alternate villain, which has now been bred to be nothing but good. As well as, quite honestly, the best being in the world when it comes to hugs. This is one character that Goku didn't turn into a good guy. He was created to be just that. And it's that one who I think we've all grown to love, despite being a bugman. That's right. Good Boy 21 is back with another chapter in his marvelously transformative tome. In this timeline, Cell was still bested by our heroes in the typical Cell games. None of that has changed. Gohan still got the win over the foe. And our story begins, or at least our deviation from the main story begins, right when the group formally discover the sublab of Dr. Gero, not just Krillin and Trunks. I mean, okay, there was one alteration prior to the Cell games, I'll give you that. Instead of destroying the lab, Krillin and Trunks reported back to Bulma that there was something weird growing in the lab, and that she might, as a scientist after all, want to take a look at it once things are blown over with Cell. Well, I mean, that is, if things blew over, let's not get assuming, guys. Thanks to genetic engineering by Bulma, our version of Cell is not the same that we saw in the original story. His Frieza has either been removed or toned down. Granted, it's a little weird when a being that pretty much looks like imperfect Cell wants to give you a hug, but come on, the sentiment is there, and it's
I mean, tell me, what would you do if something like that was walking down the street towards you, arms wide open, saying, "Give me a hug"?
After the Bugman had read up on many tomes regarding to human fitness and really becoming like a personal trainer. Piccolo then added some more mental fortitude to Gohan. The Universal Tournament between Universe 6 and 7 is about to begin. That little chestnut hasn't gone away. We've still got Beerus and Champa wanting to prove themselves as the best cat GOD. With Gohan's training pretty well ingrained in the young man, this guarantees him a spot in the team. This has also helped when 21 decides to lose Gohan's calendar so that he doesn't know when the next conference will be. Oh dear, 21, you're so cheeky. Universe 7's team would be as follows. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, 21, and Majin Buu. Because we don't really need Monarca and his Grand Ponta in this scenario. It's a heavy loss, I know, but it's for the best. Beerus feels that with Gohan and 21 really
I told you guys earlier, I called it.
showing massive progress, Goku isn't lacking motivation as much as he may have done in the original timeline. So, we have an all-Earth lineup for Universe 7. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta are still training in the Room of Spirit and Time for about 3 years or so, like in the original. So the gap between them and the rest did sort of increase. And I really find it pretty surreal that they basically disappeared for 3 years, and despite that time, their relationship didn't evolve or really improve that much. It's strange, I know. But that's for another video. Still, we cannot say Gohan and 21 achieved nothing in comparison to these two Saiyans. They managed to keep themselves in pretty good shape, and Gohan was able to regain most of the powers that he had lost in the time between the Buu Saga and Super. He may have not regained his ultimate powers though, but he feels much more confident being able to tap into the likes of Super Saiyan 2 once more, like he was prior to his Elder Kai boost. Videl has noticed this too. She remembers this aura that Gohan exuded when they first met. That feeling of calm and strength, whilst also having a gentle side. This all-round good feeling really pleases Gohan, and 21 feels really proud of himself too, for getting him right back to where he was before. Bringing harmony to that family.
Gohan and nowadays, later days, just way too underrated. I love him. He's cool. It's too bad. I mean, I know it's cool he went the scholar route and stuff. Didn't want to go and follow in his dad's footsteps. But it's just sad losing him like that from the fighting scenes a lot.
Feels so proud. It's time for plenty of group hugs. So the day of the tournament finally arrives, and our heroes, along with a large audience of course, are transported to the nameless planet for the festivities, or challenge, to begin, where the competition is meant to take place. Our heroes are then forced to take a written exam prior to competing, as we know. This surprises everybody, except Gohan, who feels like finally his skills will really get tested and appreciated. And as for 21, he is getting very nervous. Not that he thinks he'd fail. Like we established in the previous part, Majin Buu, his best friend, is only in the team because 21 had promised to Beerus that he would take responsibility for that person and make sure that the genie would stay awake for as long as required. 21 makes sure to sit next to Buu, and at any sign that the Majin's looking a little bit tired, he would wave.
He just called Majin Buu a genie. Is that what he's supposed to be from the Japanese lore then? Is it? That's interesting.
Wave a chocolate bar in his direction, and this tactic works in not only keeping Buu awake, but also making sure that he is just about able to pass the exam. It gives him that brain food. Goku barely scoring more points than him. Vegeta likes to make fun for the fact that, ha ha, you're almost dumber than Majin Buu. 2 of the Universe 6 fighters capture our hero's interest, sort of like before, Kaba and Frost. When 21 first sees Frost, he is very eager to face the latter in the tournament. Why? Well, after he bungled his chances with Frieza in the last part, he wants to prove that he has got what it takes to be with the big boys, part of the Z Fighters, and that he deserves to use God Ki like the best of them. If he can beat Frost, then maybe Vegeta won't shout at him again because it's really, really nasty, or at least he won't shout at him for a good long while. But when it comes time to choose who goes first in the matchups, Goku, as he does, typically wants to fight first, but Buu asks him if he can go first. Whoa, Buu showing initiative? Not exactly. It's more along the lines of that he might fall asleep if he has to sit around and wait for too long, and do nothing for much longer. Buu is simply bored. And Goku is getting a little annoyed by this, but 21 steps in and actively encourages the Saiyan to let Boo go first, being very keen to look over at Beerus as if to prove, I'm doing exactly what you asked me, Lord Beerus. He's proving to the cat that he's doing what he asked him to do with gusto.
Definitely.
Beerus just simply rolls his eyes. What a try-hard. So the first fight is Boo versus Potama.
Did he really just call him a try-hard? That doesn't sound like something Beerus would say, but no, at least in that terms and stuff. But yeah,
2 hit sponges, and as you might be able to tell from hearing that phrase, this fight starts off as a pretty dull affair for anyone watching. Goku is worried that he might fall asleep instead of Boo, but the sole fact that Boo and Batamo can hardly hurt each other, you might think that this would bore Boo and make him fall asleep in the ring, but actually, quite the opposite happens. This whole thing makes Boo laugh hysterically and roll around with joy.
Because he finally has a challenge.
He has never faced an opponent who could absorb hits as well as he could. This is such a change of pace for him. Batamo tries to use his beam attacks, but Boo is blocking him by, either causing the beam to go straight through him, manipulating his body, or simply just taking them and then reflecting them back in different directions, like a trampoline. After the fight ends up being comically long, it is decided by the judge that both opponents are equally matched. Not to mention that Beerus and Champa are getting impatient and giving the judge a really major case of stink eye. For the sake of his own skin, the judge is going to count this as a double ring out. Nobody wins. Boo and Batamo are surprised that this is over already. They could do this all day, they were having so much fun. They shake hands and promise to fight again sometime. So, surprisingly, instead of Boo falling asleep, Boo made another friend. And possibly a kind of rival almost. Vegeta yells at Majin Buu for not taking his opponent seriously. But Majin Buu had a lot of fun, and as far as he's concerned, that's all that matters. And quite frankly, 21 is glad that Vegeta is shouting at someone else instead of him. Now Boo can rest. Beerus walks over to 21 and nudges him in the back. What did I say, Bug Boy? He's your problem. Don't make him my problem too. What are you going to do about this? So, in order to save face, 21 loudly proclaims that he will step up and hop in and face up against Frost next. Goku looks exasperated at this point, but all he can do right now is just pout and just wait for his time to come up, like everyone else. Frost is obviously very polite towards 21, which initially catches the Bugman off guard, but hey, you got to show manners. And so, the bio-android returns the favour, albeit with some caution. They chat for a moment, getting a read on one another, and they... its trick is, as well as the fact that Hit actually has a little bit of damage.
Sorry guys, it fast forward for some reason, let me find it. Just as I was saying too, hope that doesn't get the needle.
What are you going to do about this?
Here we go. Sorry about that.
So in order to save face, 21 loudly proclaims that he will step up and hop in and face up against Frost next. Goku looks exasperated at this point, but all he can do right now is just pout and just wait for his time to come up, like everyone else. Frost is obviously very polite towards 21, which initially catches the Bugman off guard, but hey, you got to show manners. And so, the bio-android returns the favour, albeit with some caution. They chat for a moment, getting a read on one another, and they then start fighting. 21 encourages him to go to his final form, much like Goku did in the original story. Frost initially plays dumb, but then agrees and they fight, with 21 overpowering Frost quite handily. Now on the back foot, Frost is trying to use, his infamous trick, but it doesn't work on 21 for some reason. Frost is...
How is it not working on him? Before we continue. Is it because he's bioengineered? His body automatically fighting it? I wonder. Let's find out.
Frost is waiting for 21 to just simply keel over or fall asleep. But, he's just standing there, rubbing his arm like he just scratched it on something. Maybe it's because of him having at least some of Frieza's DNA that it's made him immune to it?
No.
Who knows? But 21 is unaware of what sneaky tricks Frost just did. That's right, our heroes do not learn the true colours of Frost in this tournament. They still think, as far as they know, that he's a straight up good guy. However, Frost then just about has a really almighty angry tantrum towards 21, but he's just about able to compose himself so as to not blow his cover. The next opponent for Universe 7 is Kaba, and Vegeta asks 21 if they could switch. 21 is bemused by this, but he accepts this since, he got a win. Goku is once again getting annoyed that he hasn't been able to lift a finger or do anything. As for the fight between Vegeta and Kaba, the encounter is very much the same as in the original. The only difference here being is that, it happened earlier in the story than it did in the original. Not exactly exciting, but it's slightly different. And after that, Vegeta faces against Vegeta, whom he defeats like before.
Come on, you're
only
not
to be completely beaten by Hit again, like before. This bit is pretty much all
That's one of my favorite bromances in Super. I wanted to hear that on here. Damn it.
Next to fight Hit is then 21. And seeing how Vegeta was unable to land a single hit, he decides to take a different approach. For the large portion of this fight, 21 resorts to simply becoming a punching bag for Hit, just taking his strikes without defending himself. Everyone is confused as to why 21 isn't responding to the attacks, trying to defend himself, even though none of them can see them themselves. They can just see that, 21 is on the receiving end.
I see, that's why he took Majin Buu out, because Majin Buu is probably the only one that could survive all those hits from Hit. I wonder if Majin Buu could defeat Hit, though. What do y'all think?
To it? Who knows? But 21 is unaware of what sneaky tricks Frost just... 21 resorts to simply becoming a punching bag for Hit, just taking his strikes without defending himself.
Sorry for some
Everyone is confused as to why 21 isn't responding to the attacks, trying to defend himself, even though none of them can see them themselves. They can just see that, 21 is on the receiving end. Hit is also puzzled as to why the android is allowing him to hit him really hard. In all his years doing what he does, he has never met an opponent or a target that allowed him to just, hit him. Hit tells 21 that there is no way that whatever he's trying to do is going to work. He can't succeed. Whatever he's planning on doing, it's not gonna work. 21 just smiles and says, perhaps. And when the assassin wants to hit him again, 21 makes just the slightest of movements, breaking the chain, causing Hit to miss, and giving 21 enough time to land a punch. Not a particularly powerful one, but still one that is able to connect. This connection is enough to stun Hit more out of surprise than out of actual pain. Champa is shocked, but 21 nods. As I thought. Alright, I don't think I can do much more, he says, and walks out of the ring, eliminating himself and greatly surprising Beerus and his team. The team are left stunned at 21's surrender, but 21 isn't fazed by this at all. He then calmly tells Goku and Gohan that he managed to calm down and analyze Hit's attack patterns, and reveals to them how the time skip ability works. He had no intention to actually win against Hit, he was just simply being a team player. The first opponent of Hit after this is Gohan, and while not as strong as Goku, he is at least able to give Hit some kind of a challenge thanks to his smarts. And in the end, Goku fights against Hit like before. The fight is much more exciting than the original though, if you think it couldn't get more exciting.
That would be an interesting fight to watch though. If Gohan's more advanced like this than he was in the original. That'd be interesting. Obviously Hit would still win, but it'd be an interesting fight because of his brains and stuff.
As Goku knows from the start what Hit's trick is, as well as the fact that Hit actually has a little bit of damage. The two fighters go at each other, and in the end, by sheer chance or by some weird mutual agreement, they both get knocked out at the same time, ending the tournament effectively, meaning that nobody wins. It's just a draw, which greatly angers Beerus and Champa. But before the cats can destroy everyone around them out of frustration, Zeno appears and congratulates both teams, so Beerus and Champa agree to just roll with it and keep the, Omni King happy. Goku and 21 shake his hand, and Beerus and Champa are ordered to make a wish that both of them can agree on. Beerus tosses the proposition of restoring Universe 6's Earth, which greatly confuses Champa, but he agrees. After all, it would give him more tasty food without having to grovel at its brother's feet every time he wants to go to Earth in Universe 7. And in the end, everyone makes their goodbyes. 21 is pretty impressed at how well Vegeta mentored Kaba. So after the two Saiyans part ways, he asks the prince, "So I guess fatherhood helps with this kind of thing, right?" Vegeta is pretty confused at the question, but slowly nods. "Some young Saiyan warriors need someone who can push them in the right direction. A figure they can look up to, even though I never needed it myself. That must be a great feeling, Mr. Vegeta, to be able to pass your knowledge on to the next generation. It's a responsibility. Remember that." Everyone then returns to Universe 7 to celebrate, with 21 being very introspective and thoughtful that day. He wants to have a pupil of his own after witnessing what Vegeta had with Kaba. You might think he'd be okay with just having...
Now that we're in the Super and all, I'm looking forward to the next one even more so than ever. I like this. This is cool. Damn it, what it is, fast
Saiyans part ways, he asks the prince, "So I guess fatherhood helps with this kind of thing, right?" Z Fighters now with Gohan coming up the ranks again. Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video.
Yep.
Catch you later.
This is cool. I'll have to look again. I can't remember how many of these there are. I just finished the last What If Gine Went to Earth. So then I have a few more What If Goku Was Female. And then the ones of these, and then the Carthusis Dojo ones, my reactions, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and Devil Artemis's Perfect Cell series. Okay, I gotta get these out, so I hope y'all are enjoying these, though. And let me know if there's anything else I can do for y'all, what y'all want me to react to, what y'all want me to do. Let me know. And let's see. Until next time, peace. I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. If you like my content, then like and subscribe, please. And follow me on Twitter for video updates. The link will be in the description below. And as always, stay nuclear.